Hello guys, as the page from Minecraft Wiki says, experience is a system of conventions for a player's achievements, expressed in terms of experience points. In this way, Minecraft rewards us with experience for almost every action. Started from breeding maps and finished it with trade with villagers. But not all these actions give us the same amount of experience. And today we understand what are the best ways to get it, and rate everyone by difficult and getting profit. We have a lot of ways to getting experience, but today I will tell you about only AFK experience farms, and which we can use. At the first farm, it's farm with mob spawner, and it was my first farm that I built in Minecraft. And we will definitely analyze advantages and disadvantages every mechanics, and which pros we have. First, this farm very easy to build. We don't need to build something very big, we just dig a hole and we are done. Second, we don't need a lot of resources. We can building this farm having only 2 water buckets and some slabs. And third, we can upgrading this farm if we found some spawner near. But spawners are usually found in caves, and in caves a lot of spawners with poisonous spiders. And farm on poisonous spiders needs some another design. And now I tell you about cons. At first, it's hard to find spawner. If you walked through the caves and accidentally found it, then you are very lucky, but a targeted search for a spawner will take a very long time. For example, I spent 5 minutes on without a spawner in spectator mode. Imagine how much time you will be lost if you try to find a spawner yourself. Second, you must wait when mobs spawn, because the bigger problem is that spawner can't spawn mobs always. Third, if you want to get, because you need to kill the mobs manually. That is with the help of a sword. We also definitely need to monitor the strength of the sword or use mending. But mending is not always available at the beginning of survival, unless of course you accidentally find it. What verdict can I take? This farm is easy to build, but unfortunately it's difficult to find a spawner. It also doesn't bring experience in AFK mode, and you constantly need to monitor the strength of your sword, and the productivity of this farm is low. Let's see what we can get with other mechanics. Melting resources in a furnace. All what we can from meltdown here give us experience, and we can use other AFK farms and the resulting resources to melt down and, and get even more experience. For example, we can build food farm, cactuses farm, or kelp farm. Every fried food give us 0.35 units experience. Kelps give us zero point 0.1 units and cactuses give us 1 unit experience. And I will build cactuses farm, for example. I built small cactuses farm, but you can upgrade this farm as long as you have the resources, time and power of your computer you have. And if you upgrade your farm, you can get more experience. Let's get down to the pros. I'm saying that this farm very easy to build, because she needs only some hoppers, furnace and some chests. Second, variety of choices. And how I told a few minutes ago, we can build cactuses farm, kelps farm or food farm. Food give less experience than cactuses, but we can eat our food. Third, we can keep experience in a furnace if we don't need it. In this way we can accumulate almost 100 levels, and when we need experience we can take one item from a furnace and get all our experience. But the cons of this mechanics is that we collect all experience at once, and we cannot choose a certain number of levels. For example, 20 or 30 levels. Second cons. This farm isn't most productivity. Although it doesn't need any actions from the player and can run in AFK mode. Dear UM, this video has been a lot of work and a lot of information has been collected. I have worked very hard on this text and its translation. So I'm going to ask you just one favor. Like and subscribe to the channel. So you support me, and I understand that you like what I do. And there is a little more quality content on YouTube. And now we are really going to the farm. The first farm is Gold Farm, and this farm looks like a circle where on the edges are zombified piglins that say fire on a player. The player is located in the center, and around him there are traps for the piglins, where they fall to kill them 24 minecarts. This is the limit set in Minecraft on mobs in one block. In general, the design is quite simple. It also has the advantage of bringing in enough experience, so that in one hour it can bring about 45,000 experience. But even thought, it's basically a simple farm. It requires a lot of resources and it's still complicated to build, and you can't make this farm anywhere. Firstly, you need to go to the hell and break bedrock, and secondly, to find the biome nether wastes. It is there that the most spawning piglins and can be difficult to extract magma, as it's often located near the lava lakes. In brief, it's a productivity farm, but you can't build it when you start to survive because you don't have enough resources for the player's level of development. Next thing we know, it's the Enderman farm. It's even simpler than a gold farm because we only have a platform where the Enderman found. In the center there is a pipe leading down, at the bottom there is an Ender meat in the minecart, and it's he who angered all the Endermen on himself, and they come to the hatches thinking that they are whole blocks and fall into the trap. Fly the distance down and get maximum damage, where they can be killed even with a wooden sword. The main pros of this farm is that it's bring an incredible amount of experience. So in one hour it gives about 75,000 experience. But also it does not require any unique resources. Another pros of this farm is that you can increase the number of platforms. Of course, this already requires more resources and the design will be a bit more complicated, but it is possible. Cons. First, you need to kill the dragon. That is logically finished Minecraft. The second, it works only in end. Third, it needs to be built away from the main island. There will be a maximum spawn rate. 4. It doesn't work in AFK because it requires player involvement. The last thing we will do is to break down the mob farm. The first plus is that it has a number of construction options. So, there is the kind of farm that you see in front of you. There is a default farm that everyone's seen, and a mob farm can be built at the beginning of survival. This farm brings a lot of useful resources, but it's here that there is a small catch. This mob farm means it's for resources extraction, but not experience extraction. Of course, its number can be increased, but it's necessary to eliminate all the caves, and finding all caves in a huge radius take a lot of time. It's also possible that you will be blown up if you get close to the farm, so that both the farm and you can suffer. What can be summed up for all these mechanics? If you want a full AFK farm experience, then you will feed melting resources in a furnace. You can build this farm near your home and it will always work, but when you need experience you just go to the stove and take it. I am also willing to recommend it a gold farm, and even though it's already more difficult to build, it will also work full time in the AFK. And our Enderman farm comes first. Although it won't work all the time in the AFK, because you have to be there and you have to kill all the Endermen by hand, and it still brings the greatest amount of experience. Guys, I will be very happy if this video was useful and you can decide your choice.